with Bobby and JJ Radio, and we're talking all about this disease, Alzheimer's, and how we can have the San Antonio metro area get more involved and help out with the disease. We have a very special guest, Jane Wakely. She's been in San Antonio for 15 years. Is that wrong?
That's wrong.
Since you were 15.
Since I was 15.
So then 20 years. I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
She's been married for 35 years. She has 3 children, and she's a board member at the Alzheimer's Association. And she's has a special perspective of what this disease is and how you can cope with it and handle it. I want to jump right into it. Tell us everything about your caregiving experience as far as this is concerned.
Well, it's a challenge daily. You just have to take deep breaths, and a lot of it is patience. I find it hard, to keep my patience. Knowing that Mickey has Alzheimer's helps.
Mickey's your husband?
Mickey is my husband.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. He was diagnosed in 2013.
Sure.
At the age of 55. So he has the typical early signs where his sense of direction is bad.
Sure.
Even in our home, he gets lost. He gets confused with doors and closed doors, and he has difficulty putting his belt on. Yeah. He cannot drive and he cannot work. He can't, his sense of reasoning, he was in finance, and he can no longer, the adding and subtracting or taking care of bills or anything like that.
So from the time he found out about this, how quick did it escalate to that point?
He has been pretty stable since he was diagnosed. It's gradually, here recently I've seen more things like the sense of direction just within the home. When he was first diagnosed, we knew something was wrong because he would get lost going places that he was very, very familiar with.
And is there any assistance of anyone that can come and help or provide assistance from the government? Is there anyone that can help?
We don't have anybody right now. And no, it's private pay until they are in hospice care. It's all up to the individual.
Sure.
So fortunately, we do have some family that does take care of people with Alzheimer's, and they'll be able to help us.
Sure, but for the most part, every family's on their own.
Correct.
Right, which we got to make a change on that. So
yes.
Let's talk a little bit. How were you able to tell your children and family members about Mickey's condition? How did you do that?
Well, my daughter was about to graduate from college, and I wanted to not tell her. He was diagnosed in April and wanted to wait until May when she graduated. But we did, the day he was diagnosed, we were in shock, and we saw my oldest son, and I started crying when I saw him, and we told him, and he knew. He said, "I know," and he said, Sammy and Luke know also. And so how
was that? Did they see signs?
There were signs, yeah. And I think I did typical what every parent, what it says, you deny.
Right.
I thought he was depressed. I made him go to a neurologist because I said, there's something wrong and we need to get it fixed. And they even initially, they did all the testing that Kate talked about, but they did not think that he had Alzheimer's. But once Mickey went through all the testing, when we went in to be told what we needed to do, when they said Alzheimer's, it was such a shock because we weren't expecting it.
Sure.
But he would repeatedly ask things that
you should already know.
He should already know over and over and over again.
So what quick takeaway can you give any kind of caregiver that's going to be in this situation? Well,
understand, like Kate said, understand that you do have to live in the moment, and that makes it a lot easier. Right now, Mickey's does well, and we can do things together. He wants to do everything with me
sure.
when I'm not working, which is fine. We've always been kind of a team, but to make time, if you want to go out and do something. I mean, Mickey goes with me. We'll go and have a massage. We'll go and get pedicures and manicures. And,
awesome.
And But I do rely on friends. He has one of his best friends from high school put together a group of guys. They get together once a month and have dinner with Mickey. And he has family members that they take him to the Spur game or they play golf with him, and that's what he likes to do. And so that gives me some relief.
Sure.
Vent. Be okay with venting to your friends or your family.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It was very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
If you want some more information about this or anything else, how you can get involved, you go to www.alz.org. You can also call 800-272-3900. Again, that's 800-272-3900.